Good morning, folks. Mike Bertinoli, Great Basin Team 3, the Planning Operations Section Chief Trainee. I'm here to do your operational briefing on the Monroe Canyon fire for today, Friday, July 18th, 2025. So a couple things going on the fire. First and foremost, a little bit of rain on the fire yesterday, which is helping firefighters out considerably. See an afternoon monsoonal moisture, which is helping us out. We do anticipate hot and dry weather moving in Sunday, which is probably when we'll start to see the fire get a little bit more active. So that said, I'll start going around the map with some operations. We'll start over here on the west side of the fire, northwest corner, Monroe Canyon. Division supervisor in there, Trevor Hunt, and what he's got going on is he's got a crew and some engines, again in Monroe Canyon, and they're putting direct pieces of line here, just tying in black edge. So they're out there actually on the fire's edge doing the best they can to secure that, and eventually what we'll do is do black lines saying that this chunk of the fire is contained. So anticipate seeing that in the coming days. Moving around the fire, we'll look at Division Golf. This is up in the northeast side of the fire, and we have what we're calling a contingency line. So contingency line is, should the fire decide to come out from the northeast, we're up at Signal Peak, here we go, through a combination of hand line, dozer line, we're putting in a hard fire line that moves east, south, east again, and then west into the private structures above or in the Maggleby Summer Homes area. And again, just to catch fire, give us a defensive position should this fire move to the northeast. I'll go kind of north of the map, up here in the Big Lake area, have several structures up there. We have a contingency group that's working in that area to identify long-term far out plans just for protection of those summer residences that exist in that area. Let's move south along the fire, Division Mike, and this is the Maggleby Summer Homes community. Pretty active day in there yesterday, and what they are doing is what we call structure protection. And so they're setting up big water buckets we call pumpkins. They're putting sprinkler kits around houses, hose lays, just water handling equipment to ensure that if fire does move towards that community, those structures will be well protected to receive that fire. Continuing south along the fire, Division Whiskey. This is a bit of a change. We stood up its own separate division yesterday. Chris Weaver's in there with hand crews and engines, and they're working the Monroe Meadows summer community. And so fire moved through that area, and what they're doing is what we call mopping up, which is basically just in there squishing out any of the fire that remains in that area around those structures to ensure that they're fully defensible if that fire decides to get active again in that area. Let's move south into what we call Division Zulu. It's Ryan Erickson, same kind of idea. He's in there with hand crews and fire engines, and they're doing, again, that term mop up in the Manning Meadows area of the fire. And so said it again, or I'll said it once, I'll say it again. What they've got going in there is just making sure that should this fire get active again under that high pressure that's coming, those structures will be ready and well prepared from any new fire that comes into the area. Another group that's not reflected on this map, but it's our night shift. Dan Gustafson's out there with fire engines. We're staffed 24 hours a day just to make sure that if there's any activity at night, we've got folks that are out there and willing to jump on activity as it occurs. So there's an overview of what's going on in Monroe Canyon. Appreciate your time, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.